Alright, hey there everybody, apologize about that. My battery died. I had to plug it into a battery pack here so I could get you. We're getting cold temperatures out here, so basically what we're doing right now is we're on the corner of Quincy and Carter. The two streets kind of come to a T here on Detroit's west side, and we're going to give you right here of the home. I want to show you, this is actually where two people were killed early this morning. You can see police are out there right now. There's people inside the home. We won't zoom in too terribly close to them because I want to give them some privacy, obviously dealing with a lot right now, but I will zoom in over here on the side of the house. This is where police are telling 7 Action News that a woman actually leapt from the home trying to find safety. And particularly, she was trying to get away. She heard the gunshots and she jumped out, ended up hurting her leg somewhere down below. I actually just had a chance to talk with a woman who lives nearby. She actually heard her dog was barking, was hearing the screaming, and she thought she might have heard the shot, wasn't really sure, but she saw the woman screaming for help actually on the ground, and she went out there, saw the woman, and gave her a blanket and was trying to take care of her. She said that one was yelling that somebody was shooting and they're trying to get her. In fact, she just walked out of the house. She's with her grandbaby right now, so I'm gonna walk over to Stephanie so we can talk to her a little bit. She's a neighbor, and I know this is pretty scary.
Right.
So this is Stephanie here, and she just kind of learned this a little bit ago. She's the one who actually came out and made sure she could get a blanket on the woman who lives just down the road. A pretty scary situation for her, obviously, because she has a grandbaby in the house. I know, Keisha, you just said what happened. So basically, 2 people have been shot and killed on Detroit's west side. This happened near Quincy and Carter in the home that you're looking at off in the distance. You can actually see a window busting out where a 3rd person jumped out of the Stephanie, I know you were kind of explaining to me what happened. So you heard the dog was barking and you knew something was wrong.
My dog was barking early this morning. You know, he normally barks when somebody walks past, but he just kept barking. So I just said, forget it. Something told me to get up. So when I looked out the window, my bathroom window, I seen the people running back and forth across the street, and I say, that's not looking kosher. So I came outside and I looked, and I could hear people hollering. Hold on, I'm sorry. Hold on 1 minute, Moni. And I could hear people hollering, so I just ran down there. By the time I got to where this tree is, I seen her laying on the ground.
Sure.
So I ran over, like, what's going on? And they kind of was explaining to me, so I like, it's cold out here, let me get you a blanket, because she said her ankle was hurting. I knew she couldn't move if her ankle hurt. So I got her a blanket, covered her with the blanket. She said, please don't leave me, please don't leave me. He gonna come back. I like, who gonna come back? She said, he shot my sisters. And I jumped out the window. So I just kind of held her. And then the ambulance came. I kept telling them to, come get her. Because she cold. So they just got her up and they put her in the car. And then the gentleman was sitting outside. He said he called the police. And it was taking so long for the police to come, he said. But he called the police, and then ever since the police came, and now you got all of this. It's just so much of this. It's just so much of this. But that's heartbreaking to know. I didn't think nobody had died, but to see.
Now, I know you hate. I hate the idea that you saw that first thing on the news this morning, and knowing that it happened
it's too
down the
much.
road.
It's been too many deaths in the block between Dexter and Carter. It's just been too much. It's too much. And then for them to get killed like that.
Well, you have a grandbaby here, and that's so challenging.
My grandbabies play up and down here all the time. That's why we boarded this house up to keep the vandals and the dope dealers away. We boarded up to keep so they don't be standing wide open. I got to make a safe environment for my babies. Them people don't bother nobody down there. They stay to themselves. They quiet. They quiet. I can't believe this. I can't believe it.
So what did you actually see?
I just seen her outside laying on the ground. I heard a lot of commotion going on. My dog let me know there was some commotion going on. So that's when I ran to the sidewalk. When I seen her, it was her mom, and that guy standing out there. And then they walked away, and I came and got her a blanket. I made sure she was covered up because it was so cold. And she just kept saying I had to jump out the window. I didn't even know she jumped out the window until she said something. Then I looked up, and the window is wide open. I'm like, oh, my God, you jumped 2 stories? She said I had to. She said I heard some shots. Somebody knocked on the door or something, and she just went for the window. So I don't know if she seen anything. She probably just heard, and she just bolted for the window, and she just kept hollering. She was hurting so bad. She just kept hollering. My leg hurt. I don't know if it's broke. She said she didn't know if she was shot, and they seen blood on her, but they didn't know if it came from the glass or whatever. And that's the motherfucking morgue truck. God. Oh my God.
Do you know the folks that stay there?
Oh, I know of them. They've been my neighbors since I've been back here. I can't been back here maybe 10 years. And they were there. And they've been staying there. And it's like her and her daughters, and we always call them the house with the girls.
Stephanie, I'll be right back in a little bit.
Do you know?
We're actually walking over right now because I know police are here as well. They're trying to give us a little bit more detail on what actually happened here. That was Stephanie. She lived nearby. If you guys didn't catch the whole story, she was kind of breaking up there. It's kind of hard for her because the morgue truck just pulled up, and she didn't want to have to look at that on her block. Obviously, two people have died. She says only women live in that house. We don't know if there was people who lived in the house or if it was somebody else that was at the house at the time right now. You know, you heard her say that somebody actually jumped out. I see some people are asking where. This is Quincy and Carter Street in Detroit's west side. This is the home. You can see that's actually where it would appear the woman actually jumped out of the home where that happened. He says he's okay going on the camera?
Yeah.
We got a Facebook Live going here, so I'm gonna just so you know we have.
Hold on one sec, guys.
So I gotta watch. You told me that because of my colorful language at times.
So, I mean, I guess I know there's only so many details that you guys can give out right now, but what can you tell us?
Basically, at about 7 o'clock this morning, a run came out to this location on person shot. Officers from the 10th Precinct responded to this scene, at which point they entered the house and discovered that we have 2 adult shooting victims inside, upstairs, in the upper flat. They are both deceased.
When we see that window, we're hearing somebody jumped out. I mean, what kind of scenario is this that somebody can actually get away? And
there was another person inside that witnessed the perp coming in and was able to jump out a window. That adult witness possibly broke an ankle, and that person is at a local hospital being treated and being spoken to by investigators at this time.
So does she know who that person was that entered, or are they familiar with that person? Do we know that?
We believe so. It's too early in the investigation to know for sure, but we believe that the perpetrator may very well be known to some of the parties that were inside the house.
How many people were inside at the time, do you know? Yeah.
At this point, it appears that there were 4 adults inside, but that's very preliminary in the investigation right now.
And the 2 that are deceased, are they males or females?
I'm not going to give you that information right now, just that we have 2 adult victims upstairs that were deceased upon arrival of the officers.
All 4 adults?
Yes, all the involved parties so far were adults.
Were there any children in the house?
Not to our knowledge, no.
And what about any information on a suspect that the public could possibly help with?
Yeah, if anybody has any information on this, we'd like them to call Homicide at 596-2260, or they can help us out anonymously by calling 1-800-SPEAK-UP through Crime Stoppers, and their name will not be divulged. So like I say, if anybody happened to see anything, if they know anything that could help at all with this double homicide that we have over here on Carter Street, 4000 block of Carter, please dial one of those 2 numbers.
So gunmen at large right now?
At this point, yes.
You think it's just one person?
We have a lone perpetrator described at this time.
And you know exactly what time it went down?
Right at 7 a.m.
Anything else?
Nothing that I can add at this time.
Thank you for
And
taking
your
time.
name and title again, sir?
Commander Nick Kyriakou, Kyriacou.
And it's pronounced again?
Kyriakou.
Kyriakou.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so there's the latest information that we have. You guys actually got that just as we were here from the detectives on scene. Obviously, we know that 2 women are dead, no ages, no names just yet. We know 4 people involved total. 1 person entered the home. They do think that the woman who left that building, who jumped out of that 2nd story, actually witnessed that person come inside. Hopefully that helps, but you did hear them share that number, 1-800-SPEAK-UP, that you can call and try to help other people. This is going to be a terrible situation for a lot of people. You guys just heard from Stephanie a little bit ago. She's speaking with some of her neighbors right now. Everybody's trying to figure out what exactly happened on this street right now. Willie, I see you're asking where this happened. This is near Quincy and Carter. That's where this is right now. The vehicle or the home out here in the distance. Tamika says thank you. Well, appreciate that. Obviously a difficult situation to be covering right now. All right, so I know a lot of you guys are just joining us right now, and I see there's about 500 plus people that are watching with us, so I just kind of want to wrap up and kind of explain to you what we're seeing out here right now. Basically, police say right around 7 o'clock this morning, somebody came into this house, and I'll flip around the camera so you get a better view. Somebody came inside this house, shot and killed 2 women. You can see the crime scene investigators are out here right now. I do want to point out that one person did get away. You can see up here that second-story window, a woman who was up there was able to get out. She saw the person coming in, that's what police said, and she jumped out. She was actually hurt as she jumped out. Seems like she might have broken an ankle or hurt a leg or something of that capacity. The neighbor who we were talking to earlier, and I'll make sure you guys can see this once I get off here, you guys can rewind the video and take a look. Stephanie actually was nearby. Her dog was barking. She heard something and she was wondering what exactly was going on. So she came out here, saw the woman down there, put a blanket on her, and she started telling neighbors to call 911. It sounded like somebody had already done that, and eventually police showed up. That woman now safe. Stephanie was taking it very hard. I don't know if you guys saw that part of the video, but obviously she didn't know that the 2 people had died. She knew that it was that woman's sisters. That's what that woman told her. Police haven't confirmed who these people are, but according to the people who live in the neighborhood, these were sisters that lived in that house. So that's what we know right now. We're going to continue to track the story for you. Obviously, the big thing right now, police are getting out there. Frederick, 4th person, it would appear the 4th person would... Joe, I say you said the cop didn't disclose the gender. That was actually over the phone. We confirmed some of that information earlier as well. Frederick, I see you asked him about the 4th person. The 4th person would actually be the shooter from the sounds of it. That's what I was understanding here. I see a few of you guys are asking why that's 2 women. We did hear that over the phone, speaking with another police officer earlier before we got out here. We got some of that information confirmed. That's why we've been reporting on this since about 7:25 or so. We got out here pretty quickly, but yeah, right around 7 o'clock is when this all started to happen. See, somebody else wrote still at large. Yes, we just asked that as well. That's why they're asking people to contact police as soon as possible. They're in a situation right now. If you know anything, they want you to call Crime Stoppers. Obviously, you can do this and remain anonymous. See another person asking, where is this? I'll make sure that I pin this up at the top so you guys see. I realized that I wrote this in a hurry and just wrote Detroit's West Side, but we're actually at the corner of Quincy and Carter here right now. David, that was Quincy and Carter. Quincy and Carter, not Dexter. So, yeah, and I see Joey writing on there, 1-800-SPEAK-UP, call in. Yeah, that's what they're asking you to do right now because they do know that a shooter is at large. It sounds like they're still trying to figure out the who exactly this was, but they have some ideas and they're looking into some things right now. So obviously something that we're going to keep a close eye on. I'm going to wrap things up out here. I want to make sure that you guys have an opportunity to go back. I think if you haven't seen the very beginning of the video, we actually spoke with a woman named Stephanie, who was kind of explaining what she saw this morning, waking up, hearing her dog bark. She was concerned, didn't know what exactly was going to go on. She walked outside, and that's when she heard a woman crying for help. That woman is actually the one who jumped from that 2nd-story building. You can see on the left side, I'll zoom in here, you can see the windows kind of opened up. That's where that woman actually jumped. She was so afraid, she actually leapt out of that home and ended up hurting herself in the process. So right now police are inside the house. They're speaking with people. They're trying to investigate and figure out what exactly happened, but we do know that a gunman is at large. So if you know anything, you are being urged to contact police. They want information. They want to make sure they can get this person off the street as quickly as possible. Again, 2 people dead, 2 women. No further details available at this time on who they were, but the woman who actually helped put that blanket on that person says that that victim was a sister. We're trying to figure out who she was. As soon as we know more information, we'll release that to them. But continue to spread the information, share this video, and make sure that people know that police are looking this morning for a shooter. Shot and killed 2 people on Detroit's West Side near Quincy and Carter at 7 o'clock this morning. And obviously, I see a lot of people. I made sure to put information out there. I'm gonna go over to Stephanie and let her know. So you guys said, I see a lot of you guys saying thank God for her, and prayers for her for being out there and putting that blanket on that woman and making sure that she was safe. We'll walk over there and we'll let her see some of that, because I know she's having a rough day. We want to make sure that she knows that she's doing okay. So we're going to wrap things up out here. As we learn more information, we'll update WXYZ.com. We'll see you guys then.